Hello and welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, tutulungan ko naman ngayong sagutan ng Reading and Writing Skills Quarter 4 Module 6, Formulating Evaluative Statements. Now, sa module na to, meron tong dalawang lesson. Lesson 1 is about assertions and lesson 2 is about counterclaims. So, focus muna tayo sa assertion. Next video ko na lang yung counterclaims. First activity dito sa What's New, kung saan pipili kayo ng isa sa apat na mga pagpipilian. Actually, kung logical at matino yung answer nyo, hindi magiging mali yung answer nyo. Because this activity is for preparation only para sa lesson, which is about assertion. Basahin nyo lang yung what is it para magkaroon ng sense yung activity. Kasi pipili ka ng isa and bago ka daw pumili ng isa, kailangan mong i-justify yung choice mo or decision mo kung bakit yun yung pinili mo. Which is involved sa paggawa ng evaluative statement. So, basahin nyo to. What is an evaluative statement? How to formulate an evaluative statement. Meron ding example. Example na tawag dito. Situation kung saan merong estudyanteng gumawa ng poem. Tapos, gagawan siya ng evaluative statement ng teacher. Okay, doon sa paggawa ng evaluative statement, first, po-point out mo yung positive, then next yung negatives, and then lastly, yung suggestion kung paano mai-improve yung output. So, basahin nyo rin maigi tong assertion and its types. So, by the way, kapag sinabing evaluative statement, dalawa yan. It's either assertion or counterclaim. So, pag nag-agree ka sa isang claim, assertion yon. Pag nag-disagree ka, counterclaim. Yun yung 4 types of assertion. Yun yung fact, convention, opinion, and preference. So, fact is a statement that it can proven objectively. Okay? Gamit ang direct experience, testimonies of witnesses, verified observations, results of research. Itong mga, pwede rin mga statement ng mga reliable sources. So, yung convention naman is ang pamamaraan kung paano ginagawa ang isang bagay ng yung isang grupo. Okay? O yung mga norms or traditions, kung paano siya ginagawa. Kadalasan, yun yung convention. Yung opinion naman, statement siya based on facts, pero mahirap siyang i-verify objectively kasi yung base lang to sa subjective. Okay? Yung preference naman, ito yung gusto mong mangyari sa buhay mo. Okay? States a personal choice. Yun. So, what's more, identify the type of assertion in each statement, whether it is a fact, convention, opinion, or preference. So, number 1, I would rather watch educational shows than play computer games. So, ito ay isang example ng preference. Kasi again, sinabi ko kanina, pag sinabing preference, yun yung gusto mong mangyari sa'yo, sa sarili mo. It's a personal choice. So, mas gusto niya daw manood ng educational show kesa maglaro ng computer games. So, preference siya. Roses grow best in soil made of 3/4 clay and 1/4 sand and loam. Loam. Ano ba ito i-pronounce? Okay, this is a fact. Okay, pag nakakita ka na ng mga statistics, mga numbers, a fact kasi again is a proven statement. So, number 2 is a fact. Number 3, in America, the bride's family pays the majority of the wedding costs. So, convention to. Kasi, nangyayari siya sa Amerika. Yun yung parang tradition nila or norms. Number 4, chocolate tastes better than ice cream. So, actually, ang nakalagay sa answer key, preference to. Okay, pero para sa akin, pwede rin siyang maging opinion. Kasi yung preference kasi again, kung ano yung personal choice mo, wala namang nakalagay dito na personal choice. Sinabi lang niya na mas masarap yung chocolate kaysa sa ice cream. So, Yeah, pwede rin siguro siyang preference, pero kung ako yung sasagot dito, opinion yung sasagot ko. Number 5, lions belong to the genus Panthera, which contains well-known animals such as the tiger, leopard, and jaguar. So, ang answer dito is convention. So, hindi siya fact. Kasi kung makikita niyo yung example dito sa number 2 sa convention, yung example kasi dito is seawater is classified as a heterogeneous and homogeneous mixture. So, para siyang fact. Okay? But actually, according sa module, sa explanation niya, classification of seawater is based on the classification system made by scientists and is acceptable to the scientific community. So, meron lang group of people na tumatanggap sa classification system. So, yun yung heterogeneous tsaka homogeneous. Okay? Yung mga scientists lang daw yung gumawa nun. So, kaya siya na-fall sa convention. Dito, lions belong. So, mga scientists lang din yung gumawa. So, parang the same lang din. Acceptable siya sa scientific community. Sila lang yung mga nagka-classify ng mga species. Kaya siya napunta sa convention. Number 6, I think that green is the best color. So, this is an example of an opinion. Okay? Dahil sa word na I think, yun yung parang clue. Kung kunwari mag-identify ka ng statement, okay? Tapos may nakita kang I think, mataas ang porsyento na mafufall siya sa opinion. Number 7, I prefer to go to Maldives than to St. Gallen. So, ito yung malinaw na preference dahil sa words na I prefer. Okay? Ito yung gusto niyang mangyari sa buhay niya. Mas gusto niyang pumunta sa Maldives kaysa sa ibang lugar, which is St. Gallen. So, answer dito number 7 is preference. Number 8, Corazon Aquino was the 11th president of the Philippines. She restored democracy after the long dictatorship of Ferdinand Marcos. This is an example of a fact kasi katotohanan naman talaga siya. One way para masabi na fact siya kapag kaya siyang i-prove or disprove gamit ang history or science. So dito sa number 8, history ang makakapag-prove or disprove sa tawag dito assertion na to. Number 9, the export of cut rose can easily become one of the most lucrative businesses in the country. So, ito ay isang opinion. Kasi hindi naman siya nag-cite talaga ng mga evidences na makakapag-prove sa sinabi niya. Or hindi siya parang tawag dito, hindi siya pwedeng i-prove objectively. Or nagbigay lang siya ng opinion. Hindi rin siya isang observable fact. Number 10, President Rodrigo Duterte signed the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act on March 24, 2020. So, this is a fact. So, pwede siyang i-verify gamit ang history. What I have learned, check your learnings about the lesson by completing the statements below. Number 1, evaluative statements should be. So, hanapin natin yung sagot. Okay, para sa akin, ito yung sagot. Evaluative statements should be factual, substantial, and unbiased. So, I think pwede rin kayong makahanap ng ibang sagot doon sa part na yon. Okay? Basta, I think, as long as acceptable siya, and then, totoo naman, siguro pwedeng tanggapin ng teacher niyo yun. Kahit ako, kahit yung sinabi ko, hindi yun yung sinagot nyo, as long as tama naman para sa akin at nakasulat naman sa module, pwede kong i-consider yan. Number 2, formulating evaluative statements will help you become. Actually, walang word for word na nakasulat sa module tungkol sa will help you become. Okay? So, isipin mo na lang, kapag lagi kang nagsusulat ng mga evaluative statements, ano ba yung pwedeng ma-develop sa'yo? Okay? I think ang best answer dito ay you will become a good critical reader. So dito yung banda makikita sa assertion and its types. So kapag lagi ka nagsusulat ng mga evaluative statements of course, ma-develop yung critical thinking mo and critical reading mo. So, it will help you become a good critical thinker and critical reader. Meron pa siguro mga nakasulat dito hindi ko lang nakita or hindi ko masyadong naiintindihan. So, kung sa tingin nyo, yun yung the best na sagot, then yun yung sagot nyo. So, the 2 steps to formulate evaluative statements are, dito ako nabobobo. Nabobobo ako sa tanong na to kasi hindi ko alam kung meron mang nakasulat dito na hindi ko nabasa or meron ako nabasa na hindi ko naintindihan. Kasi nakasulat dito, 2 steps to formulate evaluative statements. Wala akong makitang 2 steps. Kasi kung pupunta tayo right, sa how to formulate an evaluative statement, i-check natin. So, meron nakalagay dito, evaluative statements in 2 ways, such as formulating assertions and counterclaims. So, which is, hindi yun yung tamang sagot. Kasi pag sinabing assertion kasi, yun yung pag nag-agree ka sa claim. Okay? Pag hindi ka nag-agree sa claim, counterclaim yun. So, hindi yun yung 2 ways sa pagsusulat ng evaluative statements. Now, punta tayo dito sa may mga numbers. So, 4 siya, hindi siya 2. Kasi pointers naman talaga siya. Hindi siya steps. So, yeah, kung 2 lang yung titignan natin dito, begin with the positives before you point out negatives. Pwedeng yun. Sige, sabihin natin yun yung step 1. Step 2, suggest a solution or suggestion on how to improve. Yun yung step 2. Parang hindi naman yun yung tamang sagot. Kasi, isa sa mga rason dito sa activity kung saan papagawan tayo ng evaluative statement dito sa what I can do part. Binigyan tayo ng example, tapos meron ding example evaluative statement. So, makikita nyo to, hindi naman talaga siya nag-point out ng mga positive, negative, hindi siya nagbigay ng tawag dito, suggestions dito sa activity na to. But, tinawag siyang evaluative statement ng module. So, I think hindi yun yung sagot. So, dito naman sa example, 3 kasi yung step na nakasulat dito. Yung first step is point out the positives. Second step is point out the negatives. And then lastly, magbigay ka ng suggestion. So, ano ba talaga yung answer dito? Sa tingin ko lang, ang the best answer na pwedeng ilagay dito is to summarize things out. Kasi, 2 lang naman kasi yung steps pag gagawa ka ng evaluative statements. Una, babasahin mo. Number 2, susulat mo. Okay? Yung 2 steps. No? Pagandahin naman natin yan para naman mas mukhang katanggap-tanggap ni teacher. So, number 1, babasahin. Okay, dito. Step 1, read the entire text carefully and critically to understand and to check for possible fallacies in the argument presented by the writer. So, yun yung siguro kung ilalagay kong step 1. Now, step 2, dito ko kukunin yung step 2. Write a factual, substantial, and unbiased evaluative statement. So, yun siguro yung 2 steps na gusto kong makita sa part na to, yung 2 steps of formulating evaluative statements. But then again, kung baka mamaya meron akong hindi nabasa or meron akong hindi naintindihan, kung makakakita kayo ng mas tamang sagot kaysa dun sa sinabi ko, then by all means, go for it. So, next, assertions can be, wala ring nakasulat, I think, wala rin nakasulat sa module na word for word na assertions can be, blah, blah, blah. So, maghahanap tayo ng answer dito. Assertions serve as a primary way for the readers to consider. So, hindi dito pwede yung assertions can be. Kasi pag sinabi natin can be, it's not always true. Pero pag sinabing assertions serve as a primary way, it's always true that assertions serve as a primary way. So, hindi pwedeng sisagot sa or hindi ito pwedeng idugtong sa words na can be. So, dito sa possibly agree, so pwede nating ipasok dito yung can be kasi nakalagay dito is possibly. So, it means that it's not always true. So, kailangan nating mag-rephrase ng konti, so pwede nating sabihin na, so nakalagay kasi dito sa module na assertions serve as a primary way for the readers to consider and possibly agree with the claims presented by the writer in an expository writing. So pwede nating sabihin na assertions can be a reason why the readers will agree with the claims presented by the writer in an expository writing. Okay? Kasi yung words na assertions can be, ang daming pwedeng isagot eh. Okay? Pwede mong sabihin na, yeah, assertion can be a fact, convention, assertion can be opinion or preference, pero hindi natin pwedeng gawin yan. Kasi sa last part, dito mo isasagot yung 4 types. So, hindi natin pwedeng ilagay yung sagot na yon, assertion can be fact, blah, 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 convention. So, siguro, yun yung acceptable na answer para sa akin. Yung sinabi ko kanina about assertions can be a reason for the readers to agree with the claims. So, pwede siguro yun. Now, kung pupunta tayo sa second paragraph, assertions are declarative sentences. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na assertions can be declarative sentences. Kasi pag sinabing assertions are declarative sentences, it's always true that assertions are declarative sentences. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin can be. Sa tingin ko, dito tayo papasok sa usually. So, pag sinabing usually, yeah, most of the time, pero not all the time. So, iti-tweak lang natin ng konti yung statement. So, pwede nating sabihin na assertions can be written using languages that expresses evaluation such as useful, significant, important, insightful, etc. Okay? Pwede siguro yung sagot na yun. But you can always clarify things out with your subject teacher. Okay? Yan sa akin lang yun, perspective ko. Baka mamaya meron akong hindi naintindihan sa module, di ba? Next, the 4 types of assertion are, yun yung fact, convention, opinion, and preference. So, nga pala, kung gagamit kayo ng extra sheets sa pag-answer, like gaya ng yellow pad or intermediate or any kind of paper, always answered in complete sentences. Okay, so dito sa what I have learned, huwag niyong isulat yung sagot nyo lang. So, kaya ng first part or first item, kopyahin nyo yung evaluative statements, should be indugtong yung answer nyo. Kailangan complete sentence siya. What I can do, nabanggit ko na ito kanina, you're going to form an evaluative statement for every given text and label it whether positive or negative depending on the focus of evaluation. So, meron tayong example na binigay ng module. So, yung text, if you're not so smart, you should try to be a teacher. Ayan, mga teacher daw ay para sa mga hindi matatalino. Evaluative statement. The statement is very discriminatory against those with average intelligence and teachers in general. So this example is negative. So this statement is a negative thing. So gagayahin nyo lang tong example na to. Ang technique dito is mag-iisip kayo ng mga adjective. Okay? Yung mga adjective na magdi-describe sa kada statement. Gaya ng adjective na very discriminatory. So, yun yung nagde-describe sa example text. Honestly, medyo mahina yung bokabularyo ko when it comes to adjective. Kaya madalas akong gumamit ng word na very. Pero marami pang adjective dyan. Gumamit kayo ng mga words na pwede nyong ipalit dun sa words na gumagamit ng very, gaya ng very small, pwede kayong gumamit ng tiny, okay, or microscopic. Very big, or pwede kayong gumamit ng huge, di ba? So, bibigyan ko kayo ng mga example ng mga adjective and then kayo nang bahala mag-formulate ng sentence, okay, tungkol dun sa adjective. So, wag kayong mag-stick sa bibigay kong mga example. Of course, kung makakahanap pa kayo ng mga words, mga adjective na mas better pa sa binigay ko, then by all means, go for it. Number 1, in this time of pandemic, people should give all the blames to the government for the insufficient assistance given to them. I think this statement is unfair to the government, 'di ba? Kasi lahat naman tayo pwedeng sisihin or dapat sisihin. Lahat naman tayo involved sa paglaban sa pandemic. Okay, so number 1, this is negative. Number 2, every person has something to contribute to win the battle against COVID-19. So this example, I think, or this item, I think, ano siya, sabihin natin informative. Okay, positive to. Number 3, if you get infected by the coronavirus, you should not lose hope but be positive about it. So pwede nang sabihin na this statement is encouraging for the people who got infected by the coronavirus. So positive siya. Number 4, if you are a student with no internet connection at home, you better not enroll for this school year while we are in these trying times. So I think this statement is discouraging for the students. Diba? So negative siya. Number 5, when you go out of your house to buy essential things, you must follow the minimum health protocols like social distancing, wearing masks, using alcohol or sanitizer, and washing hands. So statement na to, parang ano siya, yung nagpapaalala. Okay? Ano bang magandang adjective sa kayo na bahala. Okay? Nagpapaalala siya sa mga health protocols, okay, na pwede nating gawin para ma-prevent ang pag-spread ng coronavirus. Letter B, read the poem written by Migma, a senior high school student. Make your own evaluation about its content and properties. Please be guided by the sample evaluation given in the discussion part and the scoring rubric that follows after the poem below. So, yung answer nyo dapat ay katulad nung binigay na example kung saan merong positive, negative, and suggestion. So, tingnan nyo yung rubric para naman mag-guidean kayo kung paano ba kayo bibigyan ng score ni teacher. Okay? So, dapat daw meron siyang evaluative language. Tingnan nyo yung example, ganun yung evaluative language. Dapat daw meron siyang positive and negative feedbacks. Isulat nyo yung positive first, followed by negative. Then, evaluation nyo daw is dapat clear, concise, and precise. So, dapat walang paligoy-ligoy at malinaw ang pagkakasulat nyo or pagkakasabi nyo. The evaluation has no error when it comes to mechanics, gaya ng grammar, capitalization, and punctuation. So, ito ay isang example ng reverse poetry. Meaning, kadalasan ng mga reverse poetry, pag binasa mo ng from the top to the bottom, negative siya. Pero pag binasa mo ng from the bottom to top, magiging positive siya. So, paano ba ito simulan? Positive. Lagay nyo, kunwari, nagulat kayo, this poem is amazing. Kunwari, wala ka pang alam tungkol sa reverse poetry. Mag-isip ulit kayo ng mga adjective na pwedeng mag-describe sa poem in a good way. Kasi positive muna tayo. Sa negative naman, maghanap ka ng mga points na pwede pang i-improve. Okay? Yung mga negative, yung mga pangit para sa'yo. Alright, assessment, basahin nyo lang yung discussion part ng module, masasagutan nyo yung assessment. Then, additional activities, research for an article or any text available to you. Then, formulate evaluative statements about it. So, kagaya lang to nung dito sa poem, okay? Maghahanap kayo ng mga text or mga article, then, po-point out nyo yung mga positive, isulat yung mga negative, then, magsulat kayo ng mga suggestion kung paano niya may improve yung article na yun. Alright, so I think that's gonna be it for the lesson 1 about assertions. So, comment lang kayo down below kung ano yung mga naiisip nyo, meron ba kayong mga suggestions, and yeah, thank you nga pala for the support. Meron na tayong 1,200 plus subscribers. And kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, Gaway mag-subscribe ka na for more videos. Huwag nyo rin kalimutang mag-like kung nagustuhan nyo yung content na to.